Right to left, the high kickoff. Tay Gowan settles under it at the 18, and we're underway. 25-30. Nice block from Chris Ike. 35. Gowan slipped down. He's at the 38-yard line, and that is where the Bombers' offense comes out. 1st and 10. Zach Collaros, 70% completion rate, over 4,300 yards last season. Most rushing yards he's had in a decade in the Canadian Football League. 17 touchdowns and 15 interceptions were the numbers that gave us pause last season. Brady Oliveira in behind him in a 5-receiver set. Left hash mark from the 39 is how the preseason gets underway. Collaros looking to his left, waiting, now back to his right. Guns in coverage, stretching, intended for Myron Mitchell, and it falls incomplete. Good coverage from A.J. Allen.
And Zach Collaros takes his first shot. Left tackle there, a little pressure coming off the edge on the right defensive end. And Zach Collaros going through his progressions, looks off one receiver and forces it into coverage there, falling incomplete.
DeMarcus Fields, 22, not 32 in coverage there. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Bombers from their own 39-yard line. 3 receivers to Collaros' left, including Mitchell in his bright red shoes. 4-man rush, Collaros guns, Mitchell tipped up, and it caught at the 50. It bounced off the defender's hands, flagged down in the backfield. Mitchell has the catch across the 50-yard line for a 1st down, and a flag down in the area of holding against the Bombers.
And that was just a fantastic job from Mitchell, focusing in. This pass is way behind him, tips it up in the air, makes the athletic adjustment.
Winnipeg number 65, 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Not a great debut from the offensive line. That's 2 snaps and 2 hits on your starting flagship premier quarterback in this game, and a holding call to boot. So Zach Collaros getting a crash course into live contact football here early in the preseason game.
Left guard Tui Ellie got overwhelmed with the bull rush and just committed the foul. So 2nd and 20. Malik Carney jumped, free play. Collaros dumps it off for Jalen Hall at the 35. Catched and wrestled down quickly by A.J. Allen. A very quick jump by Carney. You expect the Bombers will accept this penalty and go 2nd and 15 in the first quarter, which is brought to you by Boston Pizza. Try the new Triple Pep Pizza, only at Boston Pizza.
I'm just super impressed by that catch by Mitchell.
5-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Number 11, Malik Carney, you're right. The catch.
Terrible throw by Collaros, right? Way behind him, but presence of mind. A lot of times when you see a ball tapped like that up in the air, you get nervous because defenders are coming downhill and they're playing ball hawk drill on that. But he managed to contort his body and come down with that ball, even though it was all for nothing. That was a fantastic little showcase there by Mitchell.
2nd and 15. Mitchell, the 3rd receiver to the left. 4-man rush. Collaros standing in there. Got Mitchell on a little out route. Caught it out of his hands. Popped out by Marcus Sales with the hit. So there's a drop on Mitchell, and it'll be 3rd down, Bombers.
Yeah, nice timing by the defensive back coming downhill and arriving with ill intent as that ball got there. So it looked like it was going to be completed, and just the violence there forces that ball onto the hard deck. So punting situation, you got to evaluate these guys too, right? So
Jamison Sheehan on the punt from the Bombers 37-yard line as we have 13:30 left in the first quarter. Just underway in the preseason football. It's back. Sheehan, a little wobbling kick taken on the fly at the 37 to cross to the 40, the 45, and then forced out of bounds by Evan Holm is McCray, and that will be the Blue Bombers defense now coming onto the field. Let's meet the Blue Bombers defense, anchored by 6-time All-Star with 6 sacks last season, Willie Jefferson, Jake Thomas, Jamal Woods, and James Vaughters, late of the Calgary Stampeders. Joining the Bombers as a free agent this year, the linebackers, Tony Jones and Kyrie Wilson. The defensive backs, Terrell Bonds, Dietrich Nichols, Jamal Parker in at safety where Brandon Alexander was, Evan Holm, Marquise Bridges, and Retta Cramdy. 1st and 10 for the 47, little handoff, right-hand side, doesn't go anywhere. It's scrummed up by the Bombers. Vaughters in there first for minimal gain. Starting lineups for St. Andrews Parts and Power, where a handshake means something. For more, head to standrewspartsandpower.ca.
Little middle zone play there from Saskatchewan, clogged up nicely by the 4-man front, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Front 7 coming downhill, filling those lanes and minimizing the pickup. second and long situation for Saskatchewan.
Trevor Harris, the quarterback, A.J. Ouellette, the running back, dealt with a lot of injuries last season. Both those guys facing 2nd and 7. What will the Bombers do? Kyrie Wilson shows blitz. They rush 4. Harris looking left, guns in a hole, and well behind his intended receiver. I believe that's Dante Myers on the far side of the field. Incomplete and some miscommunication. And the Bombers defense, as it did so many times last year,
2 and out.
Boom.
Yeah, and that it gives you a little reason, a little rationale for why start a quarterback, a franchise quarterback in a preseason game. Well, you know, Zach Claris came out and was pretty inaccurate with the football. Trevor Harris came out and he was pretty inaccurate with the football. They're not on the same page, the rest of their guys. It's unbelievable how different it is, practice reps versus live fire reps here in a real game.
Bailey Flint on to punt for the Riders from their own 50-yard line. Trey Vavel back to return, standing on his own 10. Flint, a bit of a wobbler out to the right-hand side, bounced to the 25, takes a pretty good bounce inside the Blue Bomber 15. They will mark it at the 15. That is where the Bombers offense will have their second drive when we return. 11:53 to go in the first quarter, 0-0 the score. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB. To Oliveira looking in the flat, and he has got his man Reggie White at the 15-yard line. He gets forward to the 19-yard line as Reggie White makes his first catch, and we make our first visit with Christian O'Mell on the sidelines.
Well, first of all, since this isn't on TV, I'm used to having to dodge the golf cart with the camera on it, and I've almost been hit several times. I'm lucky that I can just wander around today. It's great, but it's also a great day to wander around because it's beautiful weather here. It's very little wind down here on the field. The field is like 2/3 in the sun. I'm in the shade, but 21 degrees here today, given all the volatility and weather we've had the last few weeks. I mean, this is honestly a perfect day for a football game.
Yeah, it got to 36, 37 degrees in training camp and then down to 2. It was pretty bad. Kalaris on 2nd and 5, caught by Clercius at the 25. He is fighting for more yards, and he'll be wrestled down by Tavon Campbell. The stick is at the 25, so this is going to be very close enough to bring in Chris
push.
Yeah, Chris Strevler, Gabe Wallace, and 3rd-round pick Ethan Vibert in the jumbo package early on.
That's good to see. Short yardage group personnel coming in. The tush push in the NFL is under attack right now, but in the CFL we love our middle wedge, even though nobody really gets in there, and Chris Strevler doesn't need that help.
Strevler pushing straight forward. He is hit quickly. He did not need much, and they will signal it is a first down. In today's game, brought to you by Play Now, Bet on Manitoba.
You knew Zach Claris was going to come back for another series, the way the first one went. And like I say, it's always good to work out these kinks and to get on the same page, get into a rhythm, get into a flow, have some positive success on the football field. You want to work these kinks out in the preseason, not when so many teams, you know, starters look beleaguered when the regular season starts, and they have fits sometimes just trying to get into a groove.
Gabe Wallace, the 6th offensive lineman, to the left, faked the hand up to Oliveira, forced to run a little deeper, and then in the flat and whacked very quickly is receiver Jalen Hall. It was a little read option that Habakkuk Baldonado, I believe, blew it up.
Yeah, this is just looks like target practice a little bit from Saskatchewan. Obviously, in the preseason, you keep your playbook very limited. You keep it simple. But Saskatchewan is having no difficulty whatsoever reading and understanding what is developing in front of them and making breaks onto the football, because they've laid a couple hellacious licks on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers early in this game.
Yeah, Jackson Ford with the big hit on Jalen Hall for a loss of 2. 2nd and 12. 4 receivers to Kalaris' left from his own 24. Pressure immediately. He's going to scramble on the run. Dumps it. It's Hall at the 45. It's caught. Zach Kalaris and Jalen Hall hooking up on a beautiful play to the 49. It's a gain of 25 and a Blue Bombers first down.
And there's a little taste of the Zach Claris improv magic that we've come to know here in his 6 years with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Pressure in the pocket, extends the play, escapes out to his right. Receivers break off their routes, and he hits Hall in the middle of the field to pick up a difficult 2nd and 12 and get a new set of downs here.
That felt like the thing that was lacking last year with Dalton Schoen missing the last 15 games. Beautifully done by those two. Oliveira hit in the backfield, tries to keep his feet, but he's going to go down for a loss of 1. Good penetration from A.J. Allen again, making another play in that Riders defense.
Yeah, Saskatchewan Roughriders in the offseason very quietly, they took an already strong roster and they've made some improvements. They are a very deep football team, and they're flexing a little bit early in this game against a lot of starters in Winnipeg. So Brady Oliveira does not often get hit behind the line of scrimmage. Got some nice penetration on that.
They call it a 0-yard gain, 2nd and 10. Bombers from their own 49 with 7.5 to go here in the first quarter. No score yet. Kolaris looking right, standing in. Tight coverage, caught, and then thrown down at the 53-yard line. It was Marcus Sales in coverage. It was Carrick Wheatfall with his first catch of the preseason, but not near enough, and it will be 3rd down Bombers.
Yeah, that was a bizarre selection by Zach Claris there. Nowhere near the first down marker. He wanted to just force it in there to his guy, and didn't look like there was any chance of him getting a first down on that, but they get a completion. Either way, they're going to be punting and off the field.
It was accurate, though.
Yeah, he's on target with that, so he's spreading the ball out a little bit here, and we'll see if we get another series or so out of Claris or not.
Jamison Sheehan to punt from his own 54, up and hanging, had 0 singles last season. On the 10-yard line, on the numbers, flagged down in the area of an illegal block. The Bombers have the Riders returner down to 15 with great coverage again, and the Bombers defense will be in a good spot when we return. 6:43 left in the first quarter, 0-0 the score in your preseason opener. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB.
The wait is over, Winnipeg. It's the Blue Bombers home opener. June 12th at 7:30 p.m. versus the BC Lions. Catch the Trues live at halftime. And don't miss your chance at a $125,000 guaranteed minimum take-home 50-50. Please play responsibly. Presented by Game Day sponsor Bell.
6 minutes left here in the quarter. Blitz coming, 6 for the Bombers, up and over top of Keyshawn Johnson. Incomplete. And it'll be 2nd down as we check in with Christian O'Mell.
Well, I know you're very good at your job, Derek, but with over 80 people on the roster today, I thought I'd offer a service. I'm going to be checking off whenever anybody gets into the game here tonight. I'm curious to see if every single player dressed is going to play in this game. I'm sure at some point after halftime, there might be a lot of guys not wearing the equipment anymore, and we can knock them off the list. But if you need some assistance, I'll be able to help you keep track.
Bless your heart. There's a lot of bodies out there. 81 on the game day roster for this game. 2nd and 10. 4-man rush. Harris straight drop, looking left, gunning. Receiver fell down and almost caught it just in Bomber territory. Myers fell down. Looked like he might have been battling with Terrell Bonds. It goes incomplete, and the Bombers force a 3-and-out this time.
Myers actually, if he stays on his feet, he's open. He beat his man clean on the cut inside down the seam. He would have been off to the races on the hash mark. So lucky for the Bomber defense there that he stumbles and falls down. He still almost gets a connection. Harris is throwing it to him come hell or high water. He put that ball in there, almost hit him in the helmet as he's lying on the ground.
Trey Vavel standing at his own 20-yard line, the first-year man from Minnesota State, awaiting this Bailey Flint punt. Another wobbler from Flint. Wow. Bounces. Vavel scoops it and then fell down at the 23, the 30, and he will go down at the 32-yard line. Jaden Dahlke with the tackle. Another guy slipping on this turf at Princess Auto Stadium.
You'd think with a lot of training camp practices being here, footwear would not be an issue on a day that is sunny, 21 degrees, but we've seen a couple guys blow tires off.
80 CJOB, brought to you by Play Now. Bet on Manitoba.
The wide receiver screen to Carrick Wheatfall. He does great jumping over Marcus Sales and then up to the 45-yard line before he is knocked down. Carrick Wheatfall with a catch for 12, maybe 13, and a Blue Bombers first down. 4:45 to go in the first quarter. 0-0 the score, Bombers and Riders.
And this is the third series by Zach Claris coming out here leading what appears to be largely the starting offense. And good news is they appear to be improving, getting in better and better synchronicity as they go throughout the first quarter.
Clarcius White, Myron Mitchell, Jalen Hollis, Brady Oliveira cut back at 50, drops ahead on a linebacker at midfield and bowls over him. Brady Oliveira for 11 yards and a Blue Bomber first down. That is the Brady Oliveira we have not seen, Doug Brown, since the 2022 preseason.
Yeah, like a knife through butter, cutting back against the grain through the heart of that Saskatchewan defense. That was smooth running. Brady Oliveira, a little flash and glimpse of what happens when he busts through that first level and exposes tackling prowess of linebackers and defensive backs.
He's going to love that finish as well. He's been waiting for that. It'll be fake it to Oliveira in the flat for Myron Mitchell. Look at this Saskatchewan team cover. Oh my goodness, Jackson Ford again, right down on top of Myron Mitchell. Holds him to a gain of maybe 2, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, they're ultra aggressive right now on their breaks in the secondary. So it's obvious the defensive teachings here for Saskatchewan is, hey guys, we're going to get home up front, whether we blitz or just our front four pressuring. So we want you guys in the secondary to play ultra aggressive, and they've just been breaking on everything like crazy. So a double move will eat that up in a hurry, but there just isn't the time right now. 2nd and 8.
Riders show blitz. Here comes 7. Kallars quickly caught by Mitchell inside the 50, broke 2 tackles. 45, blocker in front, 40. Myron Mitchell, 35, and then thrown into the kicking net on the Riders sideline at the 33-yard line. A blitz that Kallars recognized, and he hit Myron Mitchell with the big hookup.
Yeah, Zach Kallars just got rid of that football. He knew exactly what was happening. He threw it into double coverage, and Myron Mitchell really had no business. That looked like a broken play. He goes up and gets that, shakes off a couple tacklers, would-be tacklers, and that's a tremendous play. He's making a bit of a statement and a name for himself in this game. I expect this to probably be the last series for Zach Kallars. He's making the most of it.
32-yard line of the Riders, 1st and 10 from the right hash mark. 4-man rush. Kallars looking across the middle, checks it down. It's Oliveira with blockers in front. 30, 25, 20, and down to the 18 or 17-yard line. Brady Oliveira with his first catch and a run, and a Blue Bombers first down.
Brady Oliveira with the screen look. You gotta love that. Him catching that football in the flat in space with blockers in front of him. You know good things are gonna happen there. That's exactly what he does. A nice pickup there inside the red zone now. Offense getting into gear here in their 3rd attempt in this game.
Yeah, I said check down. It was very clearly a screen pass, as you say, but beautifully done by Oliveira. 1st and 10 Bombers from the Riders' 18-yard line. Just under 2 to go in the first quarter. No points yet. Fake it to Oliveira, and then Kallars, I don't know if he was throwing that one away because it went bad, or he lost a handle on the ball, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that's a zone read option look there where he wants to put that ball in the bread basket of Brady Oliveira and then make his decision off his read on that defensive end, whether he's crashing down or not. He goes to pull it back. I think he lost his handle on it. Didn't have time to readjust the football in his hand, so throws it into the dirt. Live to play another down.
Doug Brown's color commentary brought to you by Namath Diamonds. Ready to help you celebrate your anniversary? Head to Namath Diamonds in Southdale Square. 2nd and 10 Bombers from the Riders' 18-yard line. 4 receivers to Kallars' left. 4-man rush. Kallars gunning wide. Clercius inside the 15 breaks a tackle and forced down just shy of the 10-yard line. Brooks with the tackle. It'll be 3rd down from the 11, and we'll get our first chance to see Sergio Castillo on the season.
Man, it's preseason. If there's ever a time to go for it on 3rd and 2.5, be right now, but they're going to take the points. Once again, kickers are getting evaluated here, but that's the best drive we've seen in this game from this offense, getting better as they get more reps out on the football field, and is going to conclude here with a field goal attempt.
19 yards for Sergio Castillo from the left hash mark. Set a couple of CFL records last year. It is up and it is through. The Bombers have the first points of the first quarter, and they lead it 3-0. The first quarter brought to you by Boston Pizza. Try the new Triple Pep Pizza only at Boston Pizza. We will break. The Bombers defense on the other side. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football at 680 CJOB.
Whether it's Blue Bombers,
Been working out for 5.
After a gain of maybe 2.
That's nice slant technique there by the defense. Guys getting inside and up the field as they were slanting to the right. They got into the backfield and did a good job there. Nullifying that play. See if they can get off the field in a hurry like they've done so far in this game.
Today's game brought to you by Play Now, Bet on Blue. This will be the final play of the first quarter. Riders 2nd and 8 from their own 42-yard line. 3 receivers to the right as Del Duncan Busby motions to the right. 4-man rush. Harris stepping up in the pocket, looping the ball. Johnson inside Bomber territory at the 52-yard line. He is brought down by Retta Cramdy, but a second down conversion for the Riders as the first quarter comes to an end. Zach Collaros off to a good start. Brady Oliveira stampeding guys. It's pretty good activity from the Bombers so far in this one. 3-0 they lead after 1 quarter of play. We will break. Second quarter is next. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB. From the Bombers' 52-yard line, 4 receiver set. Harris looking right, throwing an in route. It is caught. Missed tackle. Myers keeps his feet, 45, and then he is wrestled down by Evan Hull. Marquise Bridges missed the tackle, and it looks like a gain of about 8.
And if you can say there's been a theme in this preseason game defensively, a lot of big cushions we're seeing on the secondary, not tight coverage from the guys in the second and third level here in terms of the space they're giving these Saskatchewan receivers. So another easy throw and completion there for Trevor Harris as they attempt on second down here to continue to move the sticks.
2nd and 2 for the Bombers 44. Motion to 4 receivers to the left-hand side. Feels like a run play. Harris will give it to Ouellette. Straight up the middle, big hole, 35. Jumps the man, 30. Pounds over another down to the 23-yard line. A massive hole for A.J. Ouellette turns into an enormous gain and a Riders first down.
And that is what north-south runners are most effective at, just taking those holes in the middle of the football field down the heart of the defense. And that was a little bit of a highlight reel run by A.J. Ouellette with the hurdle in between the hashes. You don't often see those big men able to do that, those powerful, low-to-the-ground runners, but fantastic display of athleticism.
1st and 10, Riders from the Bombers 23. Fake it to Ouellette. Harris gunning across the middle. Tipped up and incomplete. Oh, no. Dietrich Nichols is kicking himself, thinking he should have had an interception, and he would have been gone.
Yeah, it's a nice job there getting in the passing lane, getting both those hands up and changing the trajectory of that football. It's a critical time as they're right outside the red zone here, so that's a big play in the secondary to put Saskatchewan back a little bit on their offensive attack.
Nichols had 3 interceptions and 14 passes defense last season. Another tremendous year for the Bombers halfback. And in this one, he forces the Riders into 2nd and 10 for the Bomber 23. Bombers put 4 on the line of scrimmage. They will rush 4. Harris pumping, knocked down. Willie Jefferson knocks it down, and as the Bombers defense has done all camp long, they scramble. James Waters has it, and he's rolling for a touchdown. This is a pass knockdown. I don't know why the officials let this continue. The cannon goes off. But,
I mean, I thought that hit the ground, right? The only way that's a touchdown is if Willie tips it and it gets scooped before it touches the turf. It did not appear to be the case, but we're going to have to see the replay here. Obviously, the referees, the officials did not blow this dead, so they let it play out, so there must not have been vision to the football. We're anxiously awaiting a replay here just to get clarity on this.
Everything said that's a pass knockdown.
Yeah.
What the Bombers, Michael Wakefield, the referee.
Pass. Third down.
See, and I don't understand why they let that play continue. It was obvious what that was. But in training camp, if there's ever a loose ball, the Bombers defense runs to it. It could be the running back stepped out of bounds, then walked back and dropped the ball. They will run to go get the football, and that's what they did there.
Never make a lineman needlessly run that far. You know, especially you don't take a touchdown away from them. If you're going to, that hit the ground like we all saw it hit the ground. I mean, look at this. This is so obviously a ball batted down, rolling around on the ground, and they let him scoop and score. Like, how is that even a fumble consideration? It's not.
It's refereeing to review and let review settle it, which I hate for reasons we'll talk about a bunch of times during the season. But no harm, no foul. In the end, the Riders will attempt a field goal. Line of scrimmage is the Bombers 23. So Brett Lawther from the 31-yard line to tie this game at 3 here very early in the second quarter. Snap good. Lawther's kick is up. And it is good with 12:54 on the clock. 3-3 the score, and some extra pushing and shoving, which if they want to add some heat to an existing rivalry in which they might face each other 6 times this season, I am here for it. Let's do it. Let's go to break right now. Christian O'Mell is on the other sideline. 3-3, 12:54 to go in the second. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB.
At Namath Diamonds, we know our...
For more. Brett Luther kicking off from the 30. This one driven deep. Trey Babel from his own 12-yard line. Straight up field. Now bends to the left at the 25, and he will go down at the 27-yard line. The Bombers offense will go 1st and 10 with Strebler at quarterback as we talk to Christian O'Mell.
So I'm keeping track. It looked, by my count, and bear in mind, there might be one or two I may have missed, a lot of the special teams, but 49 of 81 so far have gotten into the game to this point. And also, I must say, I got the pleasure of throwing some T-shirts into the crowd a moment ago during a break because the fan cannon, I don't know, I guess the T-shirts weren't wound tightly enough. Elastic bands were flying everywhere, and the T-shirts weren't making it to the stands, so we were just tossing them into the stands and cleaning up elastic bands afterwards. So just a fun thing to see people happy.
Preseason for the shirt cannon as well. Chris Strebler at quarterback. He fakes the handoff, dumps it to Myron Mitchell in the flat, broke a tackle 30 to the 33-yard line. Myron Mitchell, the target of many passes so far, with a nice gain as we see. Chris Strebler at quarterback, and this is the Bombers' second offensive line unit. That is Micah Vanderpool at left tackle. Left guard is Gabe Wallace. The center, Tui Ellie. Ethan Vibert, their 3rd-round draft pick, is the right guard, and it looks like is that Kendall Randolph continuing at right tackle. Clercius, the wide receiver, Jalen Hall, Myron Mitchell, Reggie White, and Carrick Wheatfall. So the first team of receivers still. Peterson at running back for this 2nd and 5 play. Strebler looking left, gunning it. The whip caught at the 40. And a quick tackle from Marcus Sales on the far side. That is Kevin Clercius with the catch, and that is good for a Blue Bombers 1st down.
May this be a little sneak peek into the future of who will start at quarterback for the Bombers in their home opener on June 12th. Chris Strebler taking the reins here, and he's playing pocket passer right now to start this game, and that's a nice ball by him. He puts out there to the far side. A little timing route there. He connected, and it was accurate and delivered well. So Strebler looking nice as he begins this march.
1st and 10 from their 39-yard line now. 3 receivers to his right. Strebler tosses it. Nice run. It's Reggie White, the 45-50. Spinning off to the 53-yard line. A little inside flip pass to Reggie White, of all people, is good for 13. And a Blue Bombers 1st down.
Man, you talk about people running the football having different styles. Reggie White Jr. is the most upright runner. That is a dangerous combination when he is in between the tackles, running that upright in the danger zone. But that's an explosive play. That's a nice job there. Caught Saskatchewan off guard, and nice pickup.
Extra blocker into the right. 1st and 10 Bombers from their own 53-yard line. Strebler gives it to Peterson left side, tries to cut back in. He's forward to the 55-yard line for a gain of 2. That play to White is one we will see in the regular season to a Nick Dembski, to Dalton Schoen to a lesser extent. If he makes the team, it will be to Jareth Stearns as well. Just giving them different looks in the run game, and
tendency breaker, motioning guys into the backfield that you're not expecting to run the ball, right? You're a defensive lineman. You're like, oh, it's get off time. This is for sure a pass. Next thing you know, you got a slot receiver running the ball down Main Street, and it throws you for a loop.
And a big slot receiver at that in Reggie White. 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard Peterson gain. 4-man rush. Strebler looking left, gunning the comeback route high and hot at the 45-yard line. Carrick Wheatfall climbing the ladder. That's a gain of 10 and another Blue Bombers 1st down.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Chris Strebler throw the ball more in this preseason game than I did all last year. So very few times when he came in for short yardage did he ever get the green light to throw that football. In fact, it used to drive us nuts watching him just do the same thing ad nauseum. And it's kind of fun watching him run the helm of this offense and put some nice footballs out there.
1st and 10 for the Rider 45. Strebler faking it, drop play. Peterson blockers in front, 40, and down to the 36-yard line. Matthew Peterson. Bombers traded for him on draft day. They got him from Hamilton, the rights to draft Kamari Mounier-Bailey in the global draft, and they swapped a pick to Hamilton. They did have to give up a draft pick and a defensive tackle, but Matthew Peterson, as a Canadian, could prove to be very valuable within this Bombers offense behind whatever scraps Brady Oliveira is willing to leave behind, the MOP. 8-yard gain from Peterson. 2nd and 2 now from the Riders' 37-yard line. Extra blocker in. Strebler is going to keep this one left side. Oh, he's turned back, and he's going to get whacked. Cut down low by Marcus Sales. That was really nicely done by the Sash defense, and it's going to be 3rd down, Bombers.
Yeah, zone read option. Chris Strebler with the keeper trying to get out there to the edge, but they're able to stretch him out. He keeps running, trying to get that corner, but they get enough ball carriers down with great pursuit angles that they get in front of him, and he's unable to convert. But that's a decent drive put together with Strebler at the helm, testing out his knee in live contact for the first time. He looks pretty good, pretty promising. He really took charge of that offense and executed quite well.
Sergio Castillo, you heard this many times last year, from 50 yards. Set a CFL record for 50-yard kicks and for 60-yard makes in a career. Did it in a single season. He strokes this one to the south, and it's good. 7:33 to go here in the second quarter. It's now Bombers 6 and the Riders 3. Today's game brought to you by Play Now, Bet on Manitoba. We will break. See the Bombers defense on the other side. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB. Castillo to kick off, working left to right from the 30-yard line, puts it up into the air. The Riders will field this backing up to their own 6-yard line. 15, 20, 25, big hole, big return, 40, 45, 50, and Castillo forces the returner out of bounds. McRae into Bomber territory. The Bombers were among the league's best in coverage on both punts and kicks last year, but as I've told Doug, it is not last year right now.
I'm sorry, I can't help myself, but Castillo gets in there. That's a big break from the returner coming up the sideline. Castillo throws himself into the mix to make that tackle and just gets pinballed on the sideline. My goodness, I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh about that, but that was a contrast of styles.
That's a football player making a football play right there.
Getting run the heck over.
1st and 10 Riders from the Bombers' 53-yard line. Still Harris at no, it is now Jake Mayer, in fact, at quarterback. He checks it down to the 48-yard line. Big hit from the Bombers. That's Tony Jones laying a big lick after a gain of 7.
Yeah, they saw how Saskatchewan in their front 7 was coming downhill and really pasting the Bomber receivers, so it's a good time to repay the favor. That was a nice, well-timed impact.
Daniel Weeb, the rookie from Saskatchewan, credited with the catch. 2nd and 3. Riders from the Bombers 46. Blitz coming from the Bombers. They're bringing everybody in the backfield and down. Devin Adams exploded through. He takes out the running back Mario Anderson for a massive loss and forces them into a 3rd and long.
What a build-up by the defense there. They just kept adding and adding, and guys are crowding the line of scrimmage, and then Adams just rips through the middle of the field. Wow. Mayer barely gets the handoff before the collision in the backfield. That's a great stick by Adams. Big loss of probably 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, 2nd and 2. Almost automatic conversion becomes 3rd and 6, and the Riders have to punt. Good time call from Jordan Younger, the defensive coordinator.
A blitz, who knew?
Right? Flint on to punt. Another Walbert. He's had a rough day. This one will be caught at the 16-yard line by Vavel. 20, trying to cut back. 25, and forward to the 26-yard line. Decent return off another bad Bailey Flint punt, but the Riders do not mind as Chris Strebler leads out the offense for another drive with 5:32 remaining in the second quarter. Bombers holding a 6-3 lead. We will break. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB.
Hey, Bomber.
A 6-3 lead. The second quarter is brought to you by Claas, the makers of precision farm equipment. Claas, made for more. Strebler at quarterback. Bombers 1st and 10 for their own 22. 2 receivers to his left. He's going to look that way in the flat. One-hander by Reggie White, 30. And he's hit by the first man who got off Carrick Wheatfall's block. White gets forward to about the 35 for a gain of 8.
He's a big physical receiver. Nice hands there. A little bit of an errant throw by Strebler, but White is able to bring that in, secure it, and I mean he's in heavy traffic there in the middle of the field, and still gets it, turns it upfield, and pick up about 8 yards. So that was a nice play. Strebler executing, continues with what he's running here on offense.
4 receivers to Strebler's right, 3 of them in a bunch right near the line on 2nd and 2. They'll hand it off. Peterson waiting for a hole, tries to bounce outside. Lake Corte Moore has him, and he will go down. Nothing doing on the left side of that Bombers offense, and they'll have to punt on 3rd down.
Yeah, that's too bad. He came up. Offensive line did a good enough job to hold everybody at bay. He had time to reset his speed and readjust his run, but as soon as he tried to get out to open space and turn the corner, they got numbers there in a hurry, and they denied him. So they'll be off the field, the 2-and-out. Quick 2-and-out for Strebler's 2nd series at the helm.
We mentioned Reggie White. They list him at 6'1", 208. He looks like he plays.
He's big,
bigger than that. Missed all of 2023 with a terrible knee injury. Missed time last year with an early season broken rib. So the Bombers were able to get him for a low price and hope to fill that 5th receiver spot. Wobbling punt from Sheehan, fielded 25. It's loose though, and the returner able to get back on it. McRae had it, bobbled it, and the Bombers responded well, but McRae was quick to fully cover it up, and the Riders will begin inside their own 30, 1st and 10. We had a little video review earlier of just a crazy thing the officials let continue. All the video reviews are brought to you by Pioneer Windows and Doors. Nobody needs to get hurt in the preseason. I don't want James Vaughters pulling a leg muscle, running 90 yards for a touchdown that's obviously not going to count.
Extra cardio. Nobody wants that in the preseason. This first half has just flown by, though. Only 3 minutes remaining. Unbelievable how quickly.
And for a 6-3 game, I've been entertained, honestly, by both teams so far. Mayer continues at quarterback for the Riders. 1st and 10. 3-step drop, little quick hit. Caught on the outside by Robustelli, made the first man miss, and then he is finished off from the inside by, I believe, is that Jalen Smith on the far? No, it's Jonathan Jones, the linebacker, 30, who will finish him off after a gain of about 9.
You agree that Mayer and Harris kind of have similar styles and presence in the pocket, and that might be why they're a good accompaniment for one another in this offense?
Get rid of the ball quick.
Yeah,
Harris is way better, but yes, agreed.
Yeah, you don't have to change your playbook, I wouldn't think, too much. If one guy's spelling the other, they appear to be able to see the same picture, and they're guys that really want to stay in the pocket, but yeah, I agree. Harris is on another level.
I love what Sass did with his quarterback. Mayer is a number 2. They brought in Tommy Stevens to be the number 3.
For all your home comfort needs,
call our Reliance.
Conditions apply. See website for details.
Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB. Brought to you by Play Now. Bet on Blue.
2nd and 2 for the Riders. Tommy Stevens came in at short yardage quarterback, faked the handoff, wanted to throw, and then scrambled and dove, but not even his big frame, I think, was enough. It is going to be 3rd down Riders, 3rd and less than 1 from their own 37-yard line. 2:41 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Bombers up 6-3. Stevens will continue in the short yardage formation. Bombers stack up their line of scrimmage. Stevens right side, and he will be across to the 40-yard line. Stevens, number 1 in quarterback sneaks last season at 94%
conversion rate.
Yeah, with his time in the Calgary Stampeders, he was perfect on 3rd down last season.
How big is he?
Tommy Stevens is 6'5", 6'4", 245 pounds.
My goodness!
Yeah.
Wow.
He is a big man, and he is good with those sneaks. Had some hopes of getting a look in the NFL last offseason. Instead, he ended up here in Saskatchewan. And, the Bombers are going to have to deal with that 6 times this year. Have I mentioned that? 6 times. 1st and 10, Mayer back in, 4-man rush. Gunning the in-route, Robustelli the catch, and Jonathan Jones brings him down at the 47-yard line after a gain of about 7. Let's do some of the changes. Tay Gowan in the red gloves at corner. Russell Dandy is the other corner. That's Dexter Lawson, late of Hamilton, as the half. Isaiah Avery, the half. Cam Allen, the Bombers' 2025 Rookie of the Year, now in at safety. Michael Griffin at the dime. Jonathan Jones, Jaden Woodby are the the linebackers. Jay Person and Devo Bridges are the ends on 2nd and 2. Mayer looking left now, looking across the middle, right to Cam Allen. The interception. 55, his jersey's being torn off down to the 50-yard line. I would love to give all the credit in the world to the Bombers Rookie of the Year, Cam Allen, but Mayer put that right in his numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching his drop. You're talking about him so much. I zeroed in on him, and he literally took a two-step drop, and the ball came directly to, literally, Derek or myself could have caught that ball. I'll tell you that right now. It was thrown, you know what, the receiver fell down, so
okay.
There was an expectation that route was going to come to him, but it didn't get there, and the ball did, and wow, what an easy pick, but that's hilarious how you were hyping him up, and he makes an interception.
Bombers 1st and 10 for the Riders 48. Dylan Mitchell, the wide receiver to the right-hand side. One of their big free agent pickups there is Mitchell. Hit quickly, intercepted. Tipped up in his pick 50. Into Bombers territory, 45, 40, 35, 30. Donkey still going with bodies in front, 10-5, and he's brought down by Matthew Peterson inside the 5. Intended for Dylan Mitchell. He was hit early. O'Shea's got his challenge flag on the ground already. The ball popped up. It was intercepted by Dalkey, who rolled down to the Bombers 3, but Mike O'Shea is going to want a review of this because
for pass interference.
Mitchell, I think, got hit early by Sales.
Sales was all over him. I mean, it was a good throw by Strebler.
Winnipeg is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe there was pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
Sales' right arm. Sales' right arm was in there, in the breadbasket before the ball got there. That's what popped it up in the air. Yeah, it was a well-thrown ball by Chris Strebler. I do not fault him for that, but I'm not sure it's enough to overturn this. Yeah, look at the contact, though, early as well.
He hits him in the back, and then he ties up Mitchell's right side. This, to me, is clearly pass interference.
That is the standard of PI right there.
All the video reviews are brought to you by our friends at Pioneer Windows and Doors. Pioneer Windows and Doors. I've sung your theme song 4 times today already. Yeah, Dylan Mitchell, it's been a rough camp for him. He's got some thickness to him, too. He can hold off defensive backs, but Sales trying to be aggressive, and then it pops up, and full props to Jaden Dalkey and the Riders defense for rallying the troops and getting it down inside the Bomber 5, but
it's got to come back. I'm
going to judge a lot about the CFL's replay standards based on this.
I mean, it looks even worse when you slow it down because you see how early he is, and it's a little bit of a bang-bang play, but there's no doubt this meets the threshold for pass interference and should be called as such.
If you remember the Argos game, the game at the Argos, the interception return for a touchdown, what we thought was PI on Dembski, this one is way more contact than that.
After review, we have pass interference. Saskatchewan number 8. A 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Very well done. Andrew Wakefield there with the call. Good challenge by Mike O'Shea. That flag was down immediately. And the Bombers will not be penalized for that. And instead, they will get the ball back 1st and 10 from, I believe this is going to go forward to the Saskatchewan 38-yard line. 1:35 left here in the second quarter. Bombers with the 6-3 lead. Love to have you stay tuned for the post-game show, which is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. Rediscover Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Right hash mark from that Riders 38-yard line. Mitchell and Keelan Harris, the receivers to the right-hand side. Peterson and Michael Chris Ike in the backfield with Strebler. Strebler rolling out to his left-hand side. Wants this one deep. Getting up his man and overthrown. The defensive back really tied up the Bombers' intended receiver, Nico Cuomo.
Cuomo, though, has to go on that. Once he gets a step, he lost his coverage, and he's kind of shuffling down the field. If he just turns and runs, Strebler hits him for the touchdown. So I think he was surprised he got open, that he dropped coverage there, and he just didn't continue his route. Otherwise, that's a quick 6.
I'm wondering how much Tavon Campbell used that NFL experience to do a little unseen pass interference there. Nonetheless, 2nd and 10 for the Bombers. Riders will blitz. Strebler the quick, and then bang. Hit very quickly at the 33-yard line. Jarreth Stearns with a catch. Jackson Ford with another lick laid. Good job by Strebler to get rid of that one. get some yards, and it's third down, Bombers.
Talk about people making you pay in the middle of the football field, and as soon as that football gets secured, hits him in stride. Nice ball by Strebler. Luckily, that wasn't high. Otherwise, that'd be a hospital pass. But another guy just blown up in the middle of the football field. No fly zone for Saskatchewan tonight.
How about the Strevolution? 6 of 6 in this game.
Oh, yeah, he's
that's been nice.
Showing us his passing prowess all over the place.
Sergio Castillo, his third field goal attempt of the day. This from 41 yards, down, up, and through. Kick to win, brought to you by your Manitoba Ford dealers. 9 points for your Bombers, 3 points for the Riders, with 1:07 remaining here in the second quarter. Today's game brought to you by Play Now, Bet on Blue. Stick with us for the halftime. Greg Mackling and Ed Tate will break down what we saw in the first half. And yes, it's going to get crazy from here with the bodies they're going to shuffle in and out, but some real nice performances so far for the Bombers. Collaros 10 of 13 for 93 yards. That one drive was spectacular. Strebler, this will update to 6 of 6, I believe, for 49 yards. Not much in the receiving game. 5 targets for Myron Mitchell. Not much in the rushing game, pardon me. 5 targets for Myron Mitchell for 27 yards. And yeah, a whole lot of guys making a whole lot of plays on defense, holding the Riders to 6 of 12 combined for 62 yards and an interception. The #1 defense in the Canadian Football League 4 years in a row. Dramatic change from coordinators last season, Doug Brown, but still they beat on opposing offenses.
Yeah, and you have to wonder what Jordan Younger is going to add to his repertoire this season, right? You start off with the base and basic stuff, and then you add and you get more complex, and you bring in different levels and concepts, and it'd be interesting to see how he develops. So our only criticism last year was it was a little bit too one-dimensional at times.
Castillo's kickoff going deep. It's McRae from his own 5-yard line on the numbers. 15, 20, big hole, 25, 30, 35, 40. There was a fantastic block from Thomas Bertrand Houdon, who I believe he put Kyrie Wilson onto his back. And a very late flag coming down as one of the Herdman Reeds was in the middle of the field. A second big return for the Riders is something we will have to discuss. This penalty is something we will discuss, as it came very late. The Riders could end up with decent or great field position.
We have a 10-yard misconduct foul. Winnipeg number 94. It'll be first down, Saskatchewan.
Devin Adams made that big play on 2nd and 2 and gets the 10-yard misconduct foul there.
He's trying to show that he shouldn't be on special teams. We do that in the preseason, so the coaches take us off special team. We don't have to play it for the rest of the year. That's when you make your intentions known.
Riders will go 1st and 10 for their own 51. 59 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 3 receivers to Mayer's left. Blitz coming. It's 6-man rush. Mayer pumps, now rolling out to his right. Throws it away. Puts it up into the stands as his first read wasn't there. Just tosses it to the moon, and it's second down.
I like this. Jordan Younger is going to convince the entire CFL that he's a blitz-heavy defensive coordinator, and they're going to see nothing but 3-man fronts and pressures once things get real in the regular season. But yeah, it's nice to see him stretch his legs a little bit here. And
how it develops. Another blitz coming. It's 7. Mayer lofts it up deep downfield. Jump ball is knocked away. Cam Allen read the receiver's eyes and made sure that ball was not caught. Intended for Tommy Neild, and it'll be third down.
This is exactly what I wanted to see dialed up against Nick Arbuckle in the Grey Cup last year. But just an overload blitz, immediate pressure, unblocked guys, getting in the face of the quarterback and having to get rid of that ball without time to put an accurate placement down the field. And here they are in punting situation. That was an effective blitz. We've seen a number of effective defensive blitzes so far in this game, and it's been impressive.
47 seconds left. Bailey Flint on to punt. He has struggled with this, so you wonder what field position the Bombers will have on the other side of it. Flint, a straight-up wobbler. This one is very short. Babel comes up to get it, the 30, the 35, and he is whacked and forced out of bounds. Thought he might have got that in the area of no yards. Either way, it was a very nice catch on the run by Babel. And the Bombers will go 1st and 10 from the 36 with 37 seconds remaining here in quarter number 2.
That was a moonshot there. That was straight vertical. Plenty of time to get downfield and coverage, but not covering a lot of distance. Gonna go no huddle here, maybe?
I like
Seconds remaining.
We're now into the depth receivers. 5 depth receivers. Jarrett Stearns, the number 2 man to the left-hand side on 1st and 10. Blitz coming. Strevler. 5-man pressure, throwing it. Little comeback. Cuomo had it in his hands, but there were a lot of riders in the area at the 45, and it falls incomplete. Shout out to all our listeners, wherever you might be. You're here in the stadium. You're here in the city of Winnipeg. You are a handsome, dapper man sitting at Pearson Airport in Toronto. Wherever you might be, appreciate you being with us for Blue Bomber football on CJOB.
Cuomo should have came down with that. I mean, yeah, that was a dangerous throw, but it was accurate. It was on target, and he could have caught that pass. So Strevler continues to be on point with his delivery.
This is better than he's looked in camp. This has been fantastic from Strevler. 4-man rush on 2nd and 10. Strevler feeling it. Caught, bang. Oh, and Stearns can't hold on to it. Got a real rib breaker there from Aubrey Miller Jr. on a little crossing route. It falls incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down.
And once again, another catchable football. This one was just into heavy traffic, and hard for Stearns there to hold on to that football. But Strevler delivers accurately and with the right amount of velocity, hitting guys in stride. They're just, the level of aggressiveness right now for the Saskatchewan defense, they're just punishing these receivers.
Jamison Sheehan will punt from his own 35-yard line with 30 seconds to go here. Up into the air. It dances there a bit, and it'll be caught at the 33-yard line by McCray, who is then whacked and spun down at the 43-yard line. 19 seconds to go. I believe Marquise Bridges was the man on the tackle. See how the Riders approach this. They want to see if they can squeeze out a field goal before halftime with a couple of deep balls. But 19 seconds to go to halftime. Bombers with the 9-3 lead.
Is it still Mayer in?
It is Jake Mayer still.
Okay. I'd like to see Strevler and Mayer continue to duke this out in the second half. That'd be fun.
I can't see why not. Strevler probably has to start that week 2 game, right? 4-man rush, they're going to run it. Will the Riders? The 46 hit and down. Goes the running back Mario Anderson. Anderson and Trent Penix apparently both having good camps for the Riders as they look to find a second-headed running back to go with A.J. Ouellette. To try to find out who was on the tackle there. It was Jonathan Jones after a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 Riders. As the clock ticks down, this will be the final play of the first half. 3 receivers to Mayer's right. 2 will come in to block. And they'll hand it off again. Straight up the middle goes Anderson across the 50, and a whole pile of Bombers take him down. One of them lost their helmet. Shy of the 55, and that is all she wrote. 30 minutes are in the books from Princess Auto Stadium. 3 Sergio Castillo field goals give the Bombers a 9-3 lead. Entertaining. More so, I would normally say, than in a 4 field goal game. But yes, the Bombers offense clicking under Zach Collaros eventually, clicking from the start with Chris Strevler. The pass game going in a bunch of ways. We've seen some unexpected plays, including from our guest right here, Christian O'Mell with Reggie White Jr.
3 catches for 27 yards. Most of those after the catch. Reggie, what do you think of your performance today?
I think I had a solid performance, just getting out there, getting my feet wet, getting the chemistry going with Zach and Strev and all the guys. I had fun.
Did you get accomplished what you hoped to today?
.ca. Winnipeg Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB. The third quarter is brought to you by Kloss, the makers of precision farm equipment. Kloss, made for more.
Just underway in the third quarter, the kickoff taken by Trey McCray. He is up to about his own 34-yard line before Lane Novak and friends bring him down. That's where the Riders offense will go 1st and 10. Bombers with a 9-3 lead. Statistically dominant, said Doug Brown at the halftime.
Double the first downs, almost twice the yardage, 3 times the score, right?
Right?
9-3. You got to love that simple math there. But That was a lot of fun for first half of a first preseason game. We saw a lot of starters out there, a lot of big hits, a lot of action. Good times.
A lot of second teamers in there now. We'll go through that as we work on. Jake Mayer stretches the hand up. Thomas Bertrand, who done massive hole. 45-50 and across the 50, almost to midfield before Debo Bridges pulls him down. That was a huge hole on the right side of the Bombers' D.
They call that a gash on the ground with a big run pickup, more than 20 yards for sure on that burst through the left side. Looks like a B-gap run, and nobody was there to answer the bell from Winnipeg.
18 yards officially for Thomas Bertrand Houdon. First and 10 Riders from their own 52-yard line now. 3 receivers in a bunch to the right-hand side, 2 receivers to Mayer's left. They'll give it to Bertrand Houdon again. Bounces outside, 55-50. He runs so hard. It's Bertrand Houdon in his 3rd season. Down to the Bombers' 47-yard line, and that is back-to-back first downs in this 3rd quarter. Brought to you by Claus, makers of precision farm equipment. Claus, made for more. 2
runs back-to-back. Saskatchewan's pretty much flipped the field, so I would be surprised if they don't stay with that or at least do some play action, because the Blue Bomber defense just on their heels right now and unable to get into the backfield at all.
Tanner Schmeckel, Devin Adams, Debo Bridges, and Jay Person, they are the front 4. The linebackers, Jonathan Jones and Jaden Woodby. Stretch hand up to Bertrand Houdon, right side. Adams penetration hits him in the backfield and will drop Bertrand Houdon for no gain, maybe a small loss.
Adams says enough of that nonsense, and as we suspected, they hand the ball off again, and he knifes into the backfield. It's a nice job he does. When he's able to get penetration, he gets up the field, and then he gets square to the ball carrier and makes a nice play for a loss. So that's a real drive-killing play there by Adams. Well done.
Adams with 4 sacks last season, his rookie year out of Peru State. Went back early in training camp for his college graduation. Congratulations to him and his family. 2nd and 11. Mayer looking, gunning high, tipped up and caught. And then a flag comes down at the 30-yard line, tipped up by 1 receiver. It's then hauled in by Braden Masseri. Then a flag comes down. The yardage on Masseri's catch will be good for a first down. We will see what the flag is.
I mean, this has to be
pass
double
interference. Winnipeg number 35. Ball will be placed to the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
That's your guy taking a hit on his Rookie of the Year nomination right there. He had the interception in the first half, but now adding from bad to worse. So you get a tip ball deflection. Someone else comes down with the ball for Saskatchewan, and then you add a little PI on top of that for good measure. This drive is getting dangerous in a hurry.
Safety Cam Allen called for the penalty. Total malarkey. Malarkey, I say jokingly. 1st and 10 Riders from the Bombers' 31-yard line. 12-18 to go in quarter number 3. Mayer wide receiver screen out and busted up very quickly. Is Russell Dandy on the far side. Had some help from Dexter Lawson, but Dandy read that beautifully, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he just attacked the receivers coming down there, setting up a wide receiver screen, and he read it right from the get-go. Comes downhill, fights off the block, and just blows up that play. So nice job by him, putting them in 2nd and long.
Deshaun Mims on the catch, the first-year man out of Regina. No gain there. 2nd and 10 Riders from the Bombers' 31. Looking to cut into the 6-point Bomber lead. Bombers stacking up the box with 6. They will rush 6. Mayer quickly across the field, tipped up and falls incomplete. Jonathan Jones thought he had a shot at it, but another deflected pass by this Bombers defense, and the Riders will be held to a field goal attempt.
And that's a real smart play by the Bombers defense. As we mentioned, they had 6 on the line of scrimmage. There's a free rusher coming off the right edge, so you know Mayer has to get rid of that ball in a hurry. So you're not going to get to the quarterback. What do? Get in the passing lane, get your hands up. That's exactly what they do. Bat that ball down, force field goal attempt here. Nice play by the Bomber defense.
Yeah, Jonathan Jones, the linebacker, with the Argos in 2022 when they beat the Bombers in the Grey Cup, was on the team for the Argos last year, didn't play in the Grey Cup, as Brett Lawther strokes a 39-yard field goal attempt wide to the right, bonk. Doinked it off the right upright. No points for you. And the Bombers will take possession. Their first possession of the second half. And we return. 11-12 left in the third quarter. Bombers 9. Riders 3. It's Print Asada Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB. More. If that ball came out hot from the center, Tui Ellie or Strebler just wasn't able to make the catch. Something went bad.
Yeah, it popped right over his head. I'm not sure if he wasn't expecting it, if it came at a different time in the cadence or what, but he had to scramble just to collect that football, and he just gets it down for another chance here. Not really seeing the here's the oh yeah, it just came out. It's just on fire, and he just wasn't looking. He was surveying the field as the ball got snapped.
Yeah, he was looking to his left. The ball came to his right ear. 2nd and 18, draw play. Cooley on the run, 30, nice. Forward to the 35-yard line. Quentin Cooley, 5'7", listed at 220 pounds in college. Never skipped a gym day in his life by the looks of him. A decent run gets back some of those yards, but it's 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it doesn't quite get there to be able to move the sticks, but picks up a big chunk and is going to result in a little better field position, a little more field for the Bomber defense to defend when they get on the field here. So to start this second half, the Bombers unfortunately 2 and out punting.
First look at James Evans, the 2nd-round pick in the global draft. High lingering punt taken at the 22-yard line, 30-35. McCray runs real hard to the 35-yard line before he is dropped by Jaden Woodby and company. As we go back to break, 9:39 to go in quarter number 3. Bombers with the 9-3 lead. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football on 680 CJ. About extra blockers for this run for Bertrand Houdon, who's hit, and Jonathan Jones got him at the 40, pulled him down at the 41-yard line after a gain of about 5. So Tay Gowan in a corner, Isaiah Avery is his half, Cam Allen at safety, Dexter Lawson Jr. and Trey Vavel, who did some returning, the boundary side defensive backs. Jaden Woodby and Jonathan Jones are the linebackers. That is Latavius Brini in at the dime defensive back. The ends are Brandon Wright and Marquise Lawson Greenwood, with Colin Cornelson, University of Manitoba's finest, at tackle, and Kevin Pointer out of Wake Forest at tackle as well. 2nd and 4 from the 42. Mayer standing and pumping the deep out into the hands and caught. Well done to be hauled in there by Braden Messeri, forced out by Avery, but Messeri really had to reach for that one.
It's like a corner route going out of bounds and hits him in stride, and that was just a beautiful ball. No margin for error there as he was tiptoeing on the sideline. Incredible throw and catch. 25-yard gain for Braden Messeri. They're into Bomber territory at the 43, 1st and 10. 4 receivers to the right-hand side. That is Joe Robustelli, the only receiver out to the left. Feels like a run play. Give it to Bertrand Houdon, left side. Bounces off 40, drops ahead 35-yard line for a gain of 8 as we check in with Christian O'Mell.
Well, wondering who's going to be coming into the game as we go along here. Ethan Vibert is working with Chris Drevler now, snapping the ball, doing shotgun snaps and some under center work as well. So maybe we'll see a bit of Vibert. And Sergio Castillo riding the bike to stay warm. He laughingly told our Mike Geisen he's trying to lose a few pounds. So it's interesting. You normally see Brady Oliveira, a couple other guys on that bike. He's not pedaling very fast. It kind of looks like he's never been on there before. But nonetheless, Sergio Castillo getting some work done here.
Castillo on the road, he savors good restaurants. He knows his food, so that he has to lose a couple pounds is pretty darn funny. 2nd and 2 Riders. They will hand this one off, bouncing around. It's Mario Anderson, left side. He needed the 33-yard line. He's got that and a little more, so that'll be a Riders first down. In today's game, brought to you by Play Now. Bet on Manitoba.
Just a search play there to the left side, and he really has to fight for it. Better job by the Bomber defense shoring up against that run, but gets just enough forward progress to get the first down, and their drive continues. It really was all catalyst for this drive, really was that big bomb down the left sideline for 25 yards from Jake Mayer.
6:54 to go here in the quarter number 3. 9-3, the Bombers lead it. 1st and 10 Riders from the Bombers' 31-yard line. 3 receivers to Mayer's right, Little quick hitch caught at the 30-yard line by Weed.
Nice.
He's then clobbered by the dime Latavius Brini coming from the inside to the outside. He puts Weeb on his back.
They beat the first guy with a move and then just walked into getting leveled over the top. So one defender hits him low, the other one cleans him up. That's a nice hit. Very physical preseason game. These guys are, you often get anxious to hit some people other than friendly fire that you see all during camp, and it's certainly on display tonight.
2nd and 5 for the Riders from the Bombers 26, right hash mark. 3 receivers to Mayer's left. The Bombers 4 on the line of scrimmage. Man jumped early. Mayer pumping, looking around to the right, caught and down inside the Bomber 20-yard line. That is Kevin Pointer, the defensive tackle, making the hit on Braden Masseri once again with the catch, and that'll be another Riders first down.
Too much time for Mayer there in the pocket. That certainly wasn't his first read. Had time to go through his progression. He had to turn back away from where he was looking, sling that ball, and they get a new set of downs. So now inside the red zone.
Yeah, this drive keeps on keeping on. Now at the Bombers 17-yard line. 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the short side. Mayer's right. Bombers show blitz. They're showing 9. And it's a run play to Bertrand Houdon, which will not go anywhere. Kevin Pointer at the point of attack as 9 Bombers jam into the box there.
Yeah, as long as nobody gets walled out of their gap, that's pretty bulletproof against the run. The Bombers just kept adding and adding to the line of scrimmage. Saskatchewan really has no chance on that ground play. The inside zone, getting any purchase there. They lose, half a yard maybe.
It'll be 2nd, and they call it 11 here at the stadium as we go under 5 minutes of a fast-moving 3rd quarter.
Big play here.
Yep. Bertrand Houdon alone in the backfield. Neal will come in to block as the Bombers show blitz again. They bring 8. Mayer lofts this one up to the end zone. Jump ball tipped away and incomplete. Isaiah Avery had a good look at it. He volleyballed that one away from Deshaun Mims, and it'll be 3rd down, Riders.
That is outstanding defensive play by Avery. One-on-one with a receiver in space in the end zone. You're undercutting him, inside leverage, and it's a jump ball. He goes up and competes. All the pressure's on him. There's not a single guy that can help him out, and he passes the test. Nice job with the bat down.
Brett Lawther, who doinked the right upright on his previous attempt from the 26-yard line, down, up, and through with 4:11 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. It's now Winnipeg 9 and Saskatchewan 6. Doug Brown's color commentary brought to you by Namath Diamonds, ready to help you celebrate your anniversary. Head to Namath Diamonds in
what team will win the 100?
9, Saskatchewan 6 with 4:11 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The 3rd quarter brought to you by Claus, the makers of precision farm equipment. Claus, made for more. Myron Mitchell fields the kickoff at his 13-yard line. Left side, 25, 30, hit and plowed down at about the 32-yard line where the Bombers will go 1st and 10. And we wait to see. It'll be Chris Strevler back in at quarterback as they go a little deeper into the running back and receiver crew. With 4 quarterbacks on the roster, I'm a little surprised, Doug. I don't know how you feel about this, to see Strevler keep.
OB, brought to you by Play Now, Bet on Blue.
Quentin Cooley, a little run to the left-hand side. Dives forward across the 35. They'll give him maybe the 36 and a gain of 3 as we continue from Princess Auto Stadium. 3:40 remaining here in quarter number 3. Bombers 9 and the Riders 6. Chris Strevler still at quarterback. Surprised? Not surprised?
I'm not really, just because, you know, he played a lot last year, but he doesn't get the reps running a full offensive set like we're seeing him in this game. So this is invaluable for him.
2nd and 7. The out behind Keelan Harris, who could have had his lights put out by the defensive back, number 27. It falls incomplete. Tyreek McGee, pardon me, the former Bomber, could have really turned out Keelan Harris, but it's 3rd down.
Strevler coming off the field, he's a little frustrated by that. I think he expected that route to turn in instead of out, and yeah, he's got bringing some passion down there. And you know, that's the fun thing about Strevler, the amount of excitement and his ability to rally the troops. So we'll see how he continues on.
James Evans with a big leg and a high punt taken by McCray. At the 30, he is hit by Michael Chris Ike and finished off by a whole host of Bombers, including Lane Novak and Connor Shea. The Riders will go 1st and 10 from their own 31 with 3:05 remaining here in the third quarter.
Riders going to put Cohen in, I think.
Jack Cohen coming in at quarterback.
14.
The second-year man out of Notre Dame, 6'3", 220. They have will they keep 4 quarterbacks? Can Cohen, he would have to displace Jake Mayer, you would think, if he wants to keep going with Saskatchewan, because Tommy Stevens is strictly a short yardage guy. But Cohen is someone who's drawn some praise for his work in practice and camp. We'll see what he has to against this Bombers defense, who continues to shuffle. Cohen hands it off. Anderson, left side, piled up and not going anywhere is Mario Anderson. Philip Webb was the first one in there, the defensive end to that side. Colin Cornelson as well. The whole bunch of Bombers stopped.
Yeah, Adams is in there too. I really focused in on him on this play, and he was playing left defensive tackle. He manages to get inside of the block, and he just shuffled down, went down the line of scrimmage, got in on that tackle. He's having a little bit of a game here today. Pretty impressed by him.
Winnipeg Rifles Zach Davis in at defensive tackle for the 2nd and 10 play. Riders from their own 31. Cohen looking left, pumps. Now his second read. The comeback high and should have been caught, but it was not by Dre McCray. Good coverage by Jaden Woodby, and it'll be 3rd down, Riders.
And Bombers lucky, a little bit lucky to get off the field there. So that was open and available, just not pulled in. Receiver just couldn't hold on to that football. He escaped his coverage, came back to get it. Maybe a little bit of a high football by Cohen, but certainly catchable. Seen a lot of drop passes in this game, which is pretty much par for the course in the preseason.
31-yard line is where the Riders will punt from. Myron Mitchell standing on his own 30. Had a couple of games at returner last year, did not do well. Gets an opportunity here from his own 27. 35, now he's going to track out to the left. Turn back inside, hit, and then they try to punch at the football, and down at the 40. So pretty good return from Myron Mitchell. Sets up the Bombers offense 1st and 10. Just outside their own 40-yard line. Christian O'Mell on the sidelines.
Yes, just doing the bookkeeping here, Derek, with Davis and Webb getting in on that last series. Every player listed on the defense has played tonight, at least on defense or special teams. I've got 8 up front that have not yet played, and they are all receivers, linemen, and the 2 backup quarterbacks. And actually, you know what? Now it's just 1 backup quarterback, because there's Terry Wilson.
Yes, there is Terry Wilson. Got a little activity in the Grey Cup. Had a 40-yard quarterback sneak last season. Looking to build on that this year. He hands it off to Quinton Cooley, who turns it up the middle, and Cooley stopped at, looks like just shy of the 44-yard line for a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, that's probably why Streveler was so impassioned when he was coming off the field. He was visibly upset. He knew that that was his last opportunity to really marshal the guys and put a drive together. He really impressed in the first half, but the showings in the third quarter, not quite up to his standard, and now Wilson, I would assume, is going to finish out this game.
2nd and 7 from their own 44. Wilson looking, gunning. Harris pops it up, caught it, 50. Has the first down, and he is planted at the 54-yard line. Had a defender right in coverage. Harris popped it up to himself, made the catch with the bright yellow gloves, and it's a Blue Bombers first down.
Yeah, great concentration there, right? So when you get that kind of interference from the secondary and the ball is broken up, be able to keep your eye on it when your route is changing and you have to react to that football. It's a nice display of athleticism to be able to pull that in and secure the catch. So Wilson appreciative of that grab by his target and a new set of downs.
Today's game brought to you by Play Now, Bet on Blue. And you hear the referee say timeout. Wilson was having trouble getting the play call from the sideline, so he'll come over and talk to Jason Hogan. The Bombers have to burn a timeout with 2 seconds left in the third quarter. Not ideal, but the preseason is for learning as well.
Teaching in timeouts, as there's 3 seconds now remaining in the third quarter. This game has been flying by, been a lot of fun. Super high impact. A lot of guys getting cracked out here. A lot of fun, a lot of starters, some explosive plays, and 0 touchdowns.
5 field goals, 0 touchdowns. Let's see, Aiden Hemphill is the right tackle, Christoph Atkinson the right guard, Ethan Vibert at center, Gabe Wallace at left guard, and I believe that's Micah Vanderpool at left tackle. Tuieli in as the 6th, and we'll get you the receivers as quick as we can here. Wilson on 1st and 10 for the 54. Play action, pressure coming from his right. Stripped out of his hand and down, and the Riders appear to be on it. It was taken out of his hand by Benoit Marion off the edge and recovered by Braxton Hill, the rookie American. Not great for Wilson on his first drop back, and we'll talk about that when we return. 3 quarters in the books. 3 field goals for the Bombers. They lead it 9-6. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB.
Winnipeg.
For them, Mario Anderson is the running back. Going to toss to Anderson going left. Turn back and cut down, and then thrown down by Michael Ayers. Dexter Lawson, the halfback, did a good job as well to hold them to a loss.
Michael Ayers just read that pitch sweep out to the left side and just met the running back on the 50-yard line, right on the numbers there, and said, not going to happen. It's a nice job turning that run back inside, recognizing what's happening, coming downhill. Great authority. Nice play.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11 Riders from the Bombers' 45-yard line. 4-man front for the Bombers. Shane Gauthier and Ayers at the linebacker spot. Draw play. Anderson, blocker in front, hit at the 40 and dropped down after a gain of 4. Lawson again in there. Ayers in the mix as well, as they will hold the Riders to a field goal attempt or a 3rd and medium attempt. It'll be the long field goal team.
We got to talk about that strip sack on Terry Wilson just for a second here. He's just patting the ball in the pocket, and his spider sense has to go off. It's got to start tingling when he spent a certain amount of time in that pocket, and the blind side is where they came from to take that ball away and get that turnover. So Bomber defense doing a nice job here limiting Saskatchewan on their takeaway to a field goal attempt.
Riders with the 48-yard field goal attempt. Brian Garrity, the rookie from Weston, no chance. Whoa. No chance. It bounced to the 2. It never got high enough. Here comes Mitchell from his end zone. 5, he's going to track way out to the left, get turned back, and he'll be down inside the 5-yard line. Well done there by Aubrey Miller Jr. But that kick never had a
bad
chance.
Snap, or was that?
I think that was a bit just
laces in and
awful kick by Garrity. Yeah.
My goodness, that was a low screamer. Looked like it was about 4 feet off the ground.
Just saying though, if you consider that a punt, they've pinned the Bombers at the 5. You just have to. It's all about context, Doug.
Nice job then by the kicker.
Yeah, inside
hitting the Bombers inside the 5-yard. Here we go. Looking at the hold. Yeah, no excuses here.
Yeah, Garrity did. Yeah,
wasn't tipped either. Trajectory looks fine.
All right, Terry Wilson now from his own 5-yard line. Blitz coming. Oh, the Riders were well offside, but they're pointing at the left tackle. Is that Hemphill? As they'll debate who jumped, but somebody clearly.
You can see the emphasis on the cadence. It was a hard count, and it's just who went first. I'm not sure if it was the left tackle or that right defensive end.
Offside, Saskatchewan. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
No number given. I believe it was Benoit Marion off that right edge.
So the left tackle is allowed to react to that defensive end entering the neutral zone.
Yeah, it was real close. I do not think either player will tell the truth in that situation, however. So the officials got to make that call. Another blitz coming. 5. Wilson right in his face. Guns it. Nice throw into the hands of the receiver, who was then whacked at the 15-yard line. That one is caught by number 72, Bryson Daughtry.
It's still short. It's going to be, what is that, 6 inches short of a 1st down?
Yeah, so pickup of 4, making it 2nd and a short 1, let's say.
That's a nice job by Terry Wilson. It's not often you got to throw a ball while you're watching the free rusher come off the edge right through your passing lane, and that's where you're putting the ball out. He spits it out there, makes a good throw and a completion. So Nice job by Terry as he watches the pressure rain down on him.
Micah Vanderbilt came in late as a tight end, and they let the Bombers get away with 13 in the huddle for this short yardage play. Wilson just pushes over the top. Offside will be called against the Riders on this one. But yeah, they...
Offside. Saskatchewan defensive line. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Props to the officials for letting the Bombers get away with 13 in the huddle there, but whatever, it is what it is. 5-yard penalty. It'll be a Blue Bombers first down as we continue here in quarter number 4. Brought to you by Kloss, the makers of precision farm equipment. Kloss, made for more.
Normally you'd see Strevler come into the game and do that short yardage, but no. He's playing prototypical quarterback tonight, and he doesn't do any short yardage. Terry's got to take care of it himself, and he did a nice job.
Yeah, that was his role right after Strevler got hurt. He had to do some of that. Fake the handoff, pressure in his face. Wilson is going to scramble. 25, 30. 34-yard line. Terry Wilson saw one man right in his face, cut up field, and there's a gain of 9.
Yeah, my favorite thing about that play is just he was decisive with it, right? We've already seen him patting the ball in the pocket, which led to a bad turnover. And this time, he pulls it down and just authoritative about running the football. So throws a couple nice moves, and now the Bombers are second in inches away from keeping this drive alive. So nice job by Terry Wilson, just making a decision, sticking with it, and it paid off for him.
Short yardage again. Keelan Harris will be the one receiver who splits out as Wilson goes under center for a little push. He's bottled up.
Not much there. Ugh.
He tries to reach forward. He didn't quite need the 30-yard line, and he did not need a lot.
Yeah, forward progress. They're giving it to him, moving the sticks.
It'll be another Blue Bombers first down with Wilson.
What a burner. 3-point game. Midway through the fourth.
In about week 7, I feel like this would be you and me in Ottawa going, what is this football game we're at?
This is terrible.
But
no,
this is pretty...
For preseason, it's been fun.
Yeah, like both teams are hitting like you wouldn't believe. Coverage, like guys knocking down passes. This has been pretty good. Dylan Mitchell, the wide receiver to the right. Blitz coming off the right. Screen pass to Cooley, 30. Nice. 35, nice. 40, 45, broken tackle, 50. Quentin Cooley just shy of midfield. He was caught very quickly by Benoit Marion. He used those powerful thighs to zip on through, and it's a Blue Bombers first down.
Yeah, that defender tried to wrap up Cooley low, and it would have held him to a minimal gain. And he just runs right through that tackle. Look at him sift out here. On the sift screen to the right side, Cooley runs through a would-be tackler, 1-2, third guy brings him down. What a great job run after contact.
Little run play to Cooley, right side, 50, 45. He'll be brought down by Braxton Hill, but Quentin Cooley, 6 yards a carry, over 1,200 yards his final college year at Liberty with 13 touchdowns. And man, he's doing some stuff in this offense.
He's doing his best Brady Oliveira impression.
Did you see Michael Chris Ike get him the edge?
Yeah.
By dropping that left shoulder. Well done by the Bombers fullback. 1st and 10 now from the Riders' 41-yard line as we tick down to 9:15 here in the fourth quarter. Wilson wants the quick in to Mitchell. Caught. Falls forward to the 30-yard line and is then touched down by Tyreek McGee. Dylan Mitchell with, I believe that is his first catch, and that is a Blue Bombers first down.
And they have the momentum now. Really, those 2 runs from Cooley, they're getting into a rhythm now offensively, and this drive is proceeding. Wilson with a nice scramble in this drive, 2 big runs, and now a completed pass there, flirting with the red zone.
Gabe Wallace playing right tackle in this formation. Wilson, little quick hit. It's caught by Keelan Harris, just shy of the 20-yard line, just a little quick stop route. And that is good for a gain of, let's call it 8.
I think they really got to press here for a touchdown. That would wrap this one up with a bow, in my estimation. 2nd and medium here. The playbook is open. Important drive for the Bombers in the preseason here.
And important for Terry Wilson. The last thing we remember from Terry Wilson is a few snaps in the Grey Cup, which didn't go great, right? Camp hasn't been amazing for him. So anything to get some confidence. Blitz coming. He flares it out to Cooley. 20, 15 through a tackle. 10, push the pile. Quentin Cooley to the 10-yard line. 5'7". College listed at 220 pounds.
Little bulldozer out there.
Try to get lower than Quentin Cooley. I don't think that's a thing.
And that's not easy to do. Catch a ball like that in a flat. Someone's in the passing lane. He sifts out there. And just his yards after contact are exceptional. Nice job by Cooley, making an impact late in this game.
Down to the 10-yard line. Looks like first and goal officially from the Riders 10. Wilson looking left, pressure from his right, throws it up, get down to the ground, and it's incomplete, thank goodness.
Look at how that popped up. That was terrible. He takes a shot there.
Yeah, hit as he threw, and it just lingered in the air.
And that's got to hurt on the arm, the throwing arm, to pop a ball up like that. That was so dangerous, so much hang time. Expecting someone to run underneath that and take it for 6 the other way, but they get lucky and it grounds out.
It'll be second and goal for the Bombers from the Riders' 10-yard line. Tick down to 7 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter, pardon me. Mitchell, the wide receiver, to the left. A stack of 3 receivers to the right, including Quamo and Daughtry and Jareth Stearns, it looks like. Looking to the left-hand side. Out route for Harris, diving, and Wilson just missed him, incomplete. And it'll be third down. And the 2 sweetest words in football, field goal, are upon us.
Wilson had an opportunity with that football in the corner route and he threw it out of bounds. That's why there was a diving attempt to collect that. It just, had he brought that football a little more in bounds, he had an opportunity there. His receiver had inside leverage and just a missed opportunity for a touchdown.
James Evans, the global punter, to hold down at the 18-yard line. Sergio Castillo up and through. 6:31 remaining. Castillo's got another field goal, and it's 12-6 for the Bombers. Kick the win, brought to you by your Manitoba Ford dealers. We will break. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB.
Every touchdown by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers brings fans to their feet, and now you can help turn that excitement
to 8, 7 days a week. Rediscover Mr. Lube plus tires. First and 10 Riders from their own 40-yard line. Cone continues at quarterback across the middle. Del Duncan Busby, 55. He's into Bomber territory and dropped at the 52. That'll be a Riders first down as we check in with Christian O'Mell.
Terry Wilson came off the field, and Zach Lars gave him a nice pep talk. It was probably like 45 seconds conversation as Wilson might be done as we pay attention to who's still left to play. 4 guys haven't played in this game, Derek. They're all in offense. Reggie Brown, David Wallace, Nick Adair, all receivers. And then Chase Archopius, the other quarterback. He has been warming up, though, on the sideline here the last little bit. Perhaps he gets a chance. Maybe one series here with the clock winding down.
And Wallace is here doing some stretching like he is about to go as well. So it looks like the Bombers are doing a great job of getting everybody some action. First to 10 Riders for the Bombers, 52. 4-man rush. Cone under pressure, just turfs it. Smart play by Cone as the Bombers were getting to him, and it'll be second and 10.
Yeah, good job on the pass rush there. Forcing the quarterback off his mark. He's uncomfortable. He throws it into the dirt. So he started fading to his left there, feeling the heat coming up the middle. Best place to get pressure on the football field is directly down Main Street. And that's what the Bombers pulled off on that snap. Second and 10.
Riders are outside of field goal range here, so this would be a nice stop if the Bombers can get it. Mounier Bailey, the defensive end here. Cone looking left, lingering in the air. That one caught inside the Bomber 40-yard line. Dexter Lawson with the tackle. That ball hauled in by the Riders' number 80, Abdul Jannah Jr. All the video reviews are brought to you by our friends at Pioneer Windows and Doors. 37-yard line of the Bombers, first and 10 go the Riders. They motion 2 receivers to the left, the tight end to that side as well. Feels like a run play. Cone pulls it in the flat. It's caught and rolling. 30, 25, 20 runs. Hit down at the 15-yard line by Lawson, with Marquise Lawson Greenwood in chase. They got the tight end out in the flat and got a big gain.
He's listed as fullback too, right? Number 39?
Yeah. Morgan Runge from the University of Alberta.
A low percentage play. Everybody leaves him alone. He slips out to the left, and big pickup down the sideline. Converted touchdown would put Saskatchewan ahead in the game, with time becoming a factor. So it's a critical drive, and here we are on 12-yard line.
Left hash mark, 1st and 10. Runs the tight end to the left again. 4 receivers to the other side. They'll hand it off to Penix. Hit at the 11 and down. Is that Trey Vavel, the cornerback, got in with penetration and held them to what looks like a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, if anything, that's a big play. Puts them in 2nd down. They're going to have to throw the ball here, you would expect. And that makes things a lot simpler for your defense. Smaller area to cover. You know they're in a passing situation. The more options you can take out of the equation in the red zone, the better your chances are defensively. So absolutely cannot allow a major score here, the Bomber defense.
Riders used their timeout. You can only use 1 timeout after the 3-minute warning, so I believe they've used it right here with 3:32 remaining. It's the preseason, so what does it matter? But this feels like it's got to be 3-down territory for the Riders. 3 receivers to Cone's right. 4-man rush for the Bombers coming. Cone looking right now, back to his left, across the middle, gunning in the hole, knocked down, incomplete.
And a flag down.
Shane Gauthier in coverage, knocked that one down. Flag down in the Riders' backfield, and that gives me pause. But I feel like we get a hold.
Holding. Saskatchewan number 57. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Interesting that you decline that penalty and give them
another opportunity.
6.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to bring out, Sask is going to bring out the kick team. Interesting. Okay, with down 6, Saskatchewan's going to...
6 with 3.5 minutes left, and you're going to, okay.
I guess they feel they've got time because the timing rolls after the 3-minute warning, and we're still 3:29 to go. I guess I'm not totally against this. I just thought in preseason...
Super conservative play here, right?
Yeah. Why not just go for it in preseason and see what happens? But you get a chance for Garrity to make a kick. This from the 18-yard line, down, up, and that one is through. Much better from Garrity that time. Field goals everywhere. Winnipeg 12, Saskatchewan 9 with 3:16 to go in the 4th quarter. We will take a break. It's Princess on the Blue Bomber football at 680 CJOB. It's up 12-9. The 4th quarter is brought to you by Kloss, the makers of precision farm equipment. Kloss, made for more. I believe they have cleared the bench as Chase Artopius is now in at quarterback. 1st and 10 from the 40. Pumps, now he's in the pocket. He's going to scramble out to his left. 40, 45,
got it.
To the 50. He stepped out right at the sticks, and Chase Artopius looked super confused about what routes were happening, but he found 10 yards and a Bombers 1st down.
But the important thing is he didn't hesitate. He was like, I don't know what's going on down the field, and he just took off. Absolutely no indecision there. He's like, I'm tucking this away, taking it off, gets to the left edge, and gets the 1st down.
To the 50-yard line with 2:57 on the clock. This is the final play before we take the 3-minute warning. 3 receivers to his right, including Reggie Brown as the wide receiver. Blitz coming, 5-man rush. Artopius play action on a roll to his right, looking downfield, loops it, bang, caught by Joey Corcoran, who gets plowed immediately by the safety. Corcoran with his 1st catch, Artopius with his 1st completion, and they're into Rider territory as we hit the 3-minute warning. 2:38 to go. Bombers 12, Riders 9. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football at 680 CJOB. 38 to go in the Bombers preseason opener. They're on a drive here, leading by 3 as they go 1st and 10 from the Riders' 48-yard line. Chase Artopius at quarterback. Quentin Cooley is the running back. David Wallace, the wide receiver here. Corcoran in the slot. And 3 receivers to his left. Artopius, the quick out. And went a little behind his receiver and knocked down is Wallace. Tyreek McGee in coverage. A completion to about the 43. We'll call it a gain of 5.
That's not a bad pickup on first down. Really spreading out that football, attacking the perimeter. A nice throw, and it's just about eating up as much of this clock as possible. As we know, we're already in Sergio Castillo field goal range. So
just get it in the end zone. A.K. Gassama, the University of Manitoba's finest, the slot receiver to the left-hand side. Get it in the end zone, Chase. Let's go. You got to be on this roster for a week, probably. Artopius comes back.
Is that caught? Nice.
Corcoran with a nice catch. Artopius read to the left, went back to the right. Wasn't the best throw, but Corcoran had the catch and a Bombers first down.
You know what? He threw a fastball out there, though, right? So he wasn't sure what he was doing with the ball, but when he made his decision, he threw a strike, kind of overled his target. But you're right, he's surveying left, comes back and throws right, and that's a hell of a catch. Fully extended, number 71.
Yeah, Joey Corcoran, 5th-round draft pick, one of their 2 5th-round draft picks, first year out of New Hampshire. A slot weapon could be a Nick Dembski backup. They fake it to Cooley. Artopius on a roll to his left, throws it high, and that one is caught on the sidelines. Receiver could have worked his way out of bounds at the 25, but it is a catch from Reggie Brown, and good yards on first down.
Some might say Artopius is outshining Wilson a little bit in his small sample of work we're seeing tonight. He's got this offense going and he's moving the football. It's a critical time here in the fourth quarter. Lots of pressure, game on the line, and he's performing.
And the Bombers are going to need 4 quarterbacks. With Kalaris suspended for that first game, you have to carry 3 quarterbacks on the roster. So a 4th guy is going to have to stick around for at least, the first couple weeks of the season. Artopius hands it off. It's Cooley just busting it out on second and short. Across the 20-yard line, that'll be a gain of 3, maybe 4, and a Blue Bomber first down with 1:04 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, just do that a couple more times, and they should end up in the end zone. Look at this handoff. Cooley just looking, seeking out, search and destroy for contact. Talk about a guy getting his shoulder pads over his ankles. He is an inch and a half off the ground, just sniffing out contact.
Are players like that troubling to defenders? Because like 5'7" and bringing a load.
Yeah, I mean, your guys on the front line, defensive linemen, you're not gonna have any problems with that. But it's when they get into the second level, right? And you've got smaller linebackers in the CFL, and the guys in the secondary want to have nothing to do with that kind of jazz. So this is a fun style to play.
Matthew Peterson in at running back now. 4 receivers to Artopius' right. 1st and 10 from the Rider 20. They're in the red zone. Riders bringing 5. Artopius standing in there, lofting it up to the end zone. And through his hands and incomplete. That one intended for David Wallace. Looked like pretty nice coverage from the Riders, and it will be second down.
It looks like Wallace had an opportunity to make a play on that ball. I'm not sure, is that a go route? It's not a corner. He kind of cut it in at the end.
And it wasn't exactly a fade. And
yeah,
he does come into the only area of sunshine left. I hope that didn't distract him too much. But just threw his hands, incomplete, and it'll be second down. Corcoran in the slot to the left. Riders bringing everybody. 7-man rush. Artopius tipped and caught at the 15-yard line. I think that was tipped at the line of scrimmage and then brought in by Nick Adair. And it will be third down for the Bombers.
And this game might end up nothing but field goals. But
football's finest.
That should be, this will put them up by 6 again.
Yep. Sergio Castillo on for the field goal attempt as Kick to Win is brought to you by your Manitoba Ford dealers. The Manitoba Ford dealers getting a big workout in this game. 8th field goal on the line here. Plus, we had the 2 misses from the Riders in this one, so a lot of kicking. 22-yard attempt. Evans will actually squeak it up now to the 21-yard line. Castillo 4 for 4, down, up, easily through with 31 seconds on the clock. It's now Winnipeg 15 and Saskatchewan 9. And we will take a break in today's game. Brought to you by Play Now, Bet on Blue. Final commercial break for us. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB.
From the gridiron to the ice.
Been that way forever.
You're not wrong. City Hall to the movie theaters.
This one's getting pretty good reviews. Let me check it out sometime when it's on home video.
CJOB covers all the highlights with our daily podcasts. Hits from every show.
Sometimes that's all we're getting, right?
Pretty scary stuff.
And game day coverage.
He's looking at the crowd. He's smiling a bit because he's still relishing.
This one into the returner at the 12-yard line. 20, 25. This has been a trouble spot for the Bombers. 35. And wrestled down. Marquise Lawson-Greenwood got a big arm on the returner, and the Riders will go 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line with just 26 seconds remaining. And here comes Tommy Stevens in at quarterback.
Hail Mary time, huh?
Hail Mary time.
The preseason Hail Mary time.
Yep.
Down by 6. Should be interesting. A little bit of fun to end this game.
No, Cam Allen interception to end the game. You're right. I like it. 3 receivers to Stevens right. 1st and 10. Drops back, looking left. Guns the out route high. Mims has a nice catch. Steps out of bounds at the 49, maybe 50-yard line. Mims effortlessly spinning in the air to make that grab. And 20 seconds remain.
I hope we can hear from up here the alert, hook, and ladder. Alert, hook, and ladder. That is what we're anticipating here.
Would you do that in a preseason game?
Oh, you have to.
What? Like, it literally does not matter who wins, really, but
this is your chance to refine it, okay? Hone it down. Make it perfect.
Stevens from the 50, 4-man rush. Standing in, he's going to scramble out to his right-hand side. Pressure coming from Cadwalader. Guns it, caught, tip. And Mims steps out of bounds in Bomber territory at the 52-yard line with 13 seconds to go. Bombers holding a 6-point lead.
Gonna go in prevent here. 3-man rush. Line everybody up on the goal line.
8-yard gain for Stevens. It'll be 2nd and 2. And stick with us for the post-game show. We'll talk to the coach. We'll talk to Zach Kalaris. We'll talk to a couple of the stars of the game as well. Some performances we definitely want to highlight from this one. As guys try to make the team for cutdown day at the beginning of June. Stevens dropping back. Pressure coming on the inside. He wants to gun it downfield. He'll run 50, 45, slides, and he's hit at the 39-yard line. 4 seconds remaining as he took a little bit of a late pop there. No harm, no foul.
No flag on the play, and this is going to be the final play of the game right here. So we're anticipating the desperation toss into the end zone. What kind of trick play do they got remaining in their last-ditch attempt to pull one out of the fire here?
Nobody get injured on this as 8 Bombers go back inside their own 20. 3 receivers to Stevens right, 2 to his left. Hail Mary time, 0's on the clock. Stevens sacked, and he'll just throw it away, but he is sacked. Kevin Pointer was in there. Kamari Mounier-Bailey was in there. They rule an incompletion, and we say the game is over. The Blue Bombers win their home preseason opener. 15-9 is the final. Celebrations all around. The first of 2 preseason meetings, and then 3 in the regular season, and based on what we saw today, 1 in the playoffs would not surprise me at all. Tremendous game. We will break down on the other side. Christian O'Mell will join us to talk about it. We'll go down to the locker room. We'll talk to some of the stars as we continue from Princess Auto Stadium. Final score, Winnipeg 15, Saskatchewan 9. It's Princess Auto Blue Bomber football on 680 CJOB.